Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Drawing with Mr. Sepulveda. I'm Mr. Sepulveda, and welcome back to another Pokedex Drawing Challenge. This one is part 5. This is where I'll be drawing Pokemon number 74 all the way to number 101. In this episode, I've got some artworks that I forgot to hit the record button for, but I'll still talk about some of the design work, some of the process, and things that I liked, things that I didn't like as we go. Okay, so without further ado, here are Pokemon's number 74, 75, and 76. These are Geodude, Graveler, and Golem. And in this piece, I wanted to incorporate a background, so that's why I have like the mountain background offset behind them. But I think when I was drawing this originally, it was really easy for me to figure out how to draw Golem. Not so easily for me to figure out what my Geodude was going to look like. But overall, this piece looks pretty alright, I think. I was trying to go more painterly on it. Tell me what you guys think about 74, 75, and 76. Alright, so this is one of the pictures that I did not have a recording for. But here are Rapidash and Ponyta with a little pastel background. Alright, so next up, I've got my Slowpoke and Slowbro. I ended up starting off with the Slowbro, but then I quickly moved to a Slowpoke and thought it'd be kind of cool if I just had like that cloister shell, just to kind of insinuate that Slowpoke's tail was going to be bitten and he was going to become a Slowbro. So I thought that'd be a cooler idea. So I kind of put both of them side by side with each other with just like a very basic background. And what you'll notice is all these pictures I made were in 2023 and just kind of getting to making the videos for them. Alright, so this next one, I've got Magnemite and Magneton, and I was pretty happy with the way this came out because I was trying to go for like semi-watercolory type of background with like a little rainbow kind of cloud kind of setting, and I think for the most part this one kind of came out alright. Not my favorite in the batch, but I thought it was pretty interesting the way that it came out. Next one up is Farfetch. I don't know if this one's my least favorite because there's another one coming up soon that I think could be my least favorite in the batch in this video. But with Farfetch, I just try to keep him pretty basic, just him holding onto his leek. The background, I didn't put a lot of thought in. I almost wish that I did this without the background. It probably would have made this piece a little better, to be honest. But I went ahead and did it just because I thought the Ponyta and Rapidash background looked cool in pastel, so I kind of went with it here. Kind of a big mistake, kind of a flop, but what else can you do? For this next one, I did not record, but it's my Doduo and Dotrio, and then I pretty much used like oil pastel for the entire background on this one. So earlier you heard me say, you know, what's my least favorite? This one kind of, I think, is probably tied there. I did try to go more of a digital painterly style for parts of it, like when I was putting in the shading and I was trying to come up with the silhouettes for Dugong and Seal, but I don't know, I think there's something a little off about both, and I think it's because there's not enough shading in perhaps the faces of either, and maybe it could be this off-putting black background. I think this one makes it one of my least favorites here, but tell me what you think. Alright, next up is my Muck and Grimer. Muck and Grimer are pretty interesting characters. I used to like Muck in the anime, just because he would always jump on top of Ash and kind of look like he was eating him, similar to like James's Victory Bell and other Pokemon that seem to attack James. But I think overall I kind of had fun with this one, but I did really keep it super simplistic with the airbrushing for shadows and lights. So here's my Muck, here's my Grimer. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this piece right here. Alright, so I went back to that symmetrical look like I did with my Zubat and Golbat. And so it made it easier and faster to do my cloister and to make my shelter for this one. I actually really do like the way that both of them came out. I tried to put a little bit more detail into it, especially for the line work for both. Coloring was just simple. I just kind of put in a lot of flats I try to keep things cell shaded for the most part. I airbrushed on top, and this is just how it turned out. Background could have been better, could have made more sense, but I think the characters came out pretty good. Alright, so we got Ghastly, we got Haunter, we got Gengar. I love these guys. I've done them several times here. There are Pokemon's 92, 93, and 94. And I was contemplating on trying to have them like really interact with each other. I wasn't sure how I wanted them to interact. I definitely knew I wanted like Haunter kind of maybe playing with Ghastly above him. I didn't know what I wanted Gengar to do, which is pretty much where that pose comes in, where he's just kind of like floating around. But I think the coloring was okay for this one. Background could have been better. Everything's pretty much left pretty flat with just a little rim lighting. And the shadows, I guess they make sense. I wish I went a little bit lighter on them, especially for the background that was there with the color. But I think this one was kind of a cool one to kind of play with. Alright, this one, I tried something new, I tried something different, and so for Onyx, for Pokemon number 95, I wanted to have a little bit of motion involved, but I also wanted to kind of do a little bit more digital painting with it, because I was practicing it at the time, and trying not to heavily rely on line work for parts of it, but you can kind of see me kind of going in and out with it. And I was trying to make him just kind of drive through some sand or drive through the desert. I got some of that motion in there, I think, but I definitely did not hit it or hit the mark when it came to drawing Onyx. For this one, this is one of the stuff that I really enjoy doing. I really like splitting the Pokemon that I draw and turning them into monsters, like monster versions of each other. So kind of having those evolutions. And you can definitely see when I did my Meowth and my Persian. And I think I did an alright job here. I just wish the two Pokemon weren't too similar in color. I think that would be my biggest complaint about this piece, is just how similar they look. But overall, I really like turning them into more creepier versions of themselves. Alright, this one might be my very favorite one in this video. It's Krabby and Kingler. I was originally going to have them fighting each other, but then I thought, you know what would be really cool? If I had Krabby trying to work his butt off so that he can evolve into a Kingler. So the idea behind this is he's trying to become his future self, right? He's trying to work his butt off so he can kind of become that vision that he wants, because he wants to evolve and he wants to become a Kingler. And so that's why I did the piece the way I did it, with colored line work and a little bit of a rainbow in the background, because that's his dream. And then for the final piece, we got numbers 100 and 101. But instead of just doing a simple version of of my little round dudes, my Electrode and Voltorb, I decided to make them based off of like different Pokeballs, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you liked the video, please leave a like. Let me know in the comments down below which one is your favorite. If you're new to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. I just want to let you guys know that I am changing some of the formats of my videos and some of the things that'll be showing on this channel. I'll be having a little bit more pop culture stuff on here. I'll be doing a little bit more fusion episodes, a little bit more what if types of scenarios, kind of like what if MHA was in the Savage Lands. There is going to definitely be a part 2 to that. But I'll also keep some of my staples, like my Draw Jar series. I love that. It involves my students and their ideas, so I'm going to keep that going. And of course, my S-Verse Chronicles. Love that series. We've only got 3 remaining, and one of them comes up next week. We're starting the Gods and Champions War Part 1. You're not going to want to miss it, so please tune in next Tuesday for a regularly scheduled video, okay? I'll see you all then. You guys have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.